A very warm welcome to our speakers today, Thomas from Spinworks and Mr. Siddharth Patla, founder of Design Factory India. It is very exciting to have you both today. So now we are here to discuss about Infotainment Revolution series, one of the 4-part series where we are going to be delving into the art of crafting, engaging experiences that captivate audiences. So it's going to be a very exciting discussion today. Now, to kick off today's session, I will now hand over to Thomas.
Thank you, Josephine. Thank you very much. Siddharth, thank you so much for joining me today. So before we kick off, maybe you can let our viewers know a little bit more about Design Factory, a bit of history and about the company.
Right. Thank you so much, Thomas, for asking me to be here. It is nice to be with you and with all the audience in a way to tell who we are and what we do. So Design Factory is a design firm basically, and we based out of Delhi in India. We are an office of around 80 people where we have architects and designers. Basically, we design museums and exhibition spaces. So that is what our forte is. And with museums and exhibition spaces, we do a lot of heritage projects also. We do projection mapping, fountains, lighting, big museums, big hit-size museums. We have just done the biggest museum in India, which is in Bhuj. Then we are doing a couple of museums in North India and more in Gujarat and Maharashtra. So we are into this field of designing, and we are basically exhibition designers.
Very nice. Thanks for the intro, Siddharth. So the first question really is, are you seeing an uptick on infotainment projects? My question was on which spaces, but you've already said you do museums and exhibition spaces. But maybe you can elaborate a little on that uptake and if there is something beyond those spaces as well that you're looking at.
Sorry, just pardon the question again. You are saying that is this going beyond these spaces?
For both aspects, I mean, I believe you're seeing an uptake on the infotainment projects in both museums and exhibition spaces. But beyond that, are you seeing it in other spaces like experience centers, in corporates and so forth?
Right, totally. So I see two things happening. One, the sheer scale of the current museum and exhibition spaces are going beyond imaginable. You know, I used to know that there were 2-3 museums coming up every year. Now, there are at least 20 or 30 coming, and the scale has gone increased in terms of numbers, So I know that there's a place known as Ekta Nagar in Gujarat, which is where the Statue of Unity is. That space itself, it's a small town which is coming up with 12-13 museums, So it's a big thing for a part of India. And then you have at least 10 museums coming in Ahmedabad. Then I'm doing museum in Junagadh and Jamnagar. So, and North India, I know at least 50 museums coming, which, so it's like all in all, you will see in India after 1 year, you will be having 100 museums, and I'm not talking about small museum, I'm talking about bigger museums. I'm talking about a scale of at least 50,000 to 2 lakh square feet. So I think, so these are sheer big numbers. That is one. At the same time, I think that a lot, because museums are getting into a part of the culture of Indian scenario, a lot of things will get into the private sector also. So I can sense the private sector also sensing it. It is just not the government, because they're also owning into that. So there are two type of private ventures who are coming. One are the experience centers, like for example, I see Apollo Tires making an experience center, or a Asian Paint making an experience center, or a tile manufacturing company making an experience center. So that is one. And second is a lot of private people are coming into the entertainment business in that sense, because so for example, if you go abroad, a lot of museums are private. So if you go to Amsterdam, there's a Fly Holland experience where you fly over to Holland, and that is an experience. So that is private. So a lot of people are coming up. As you go to Dubai, you have this Bollywood park. So you have these rides which are all very digital. At the same time, they are all privately owned. They are not government owned. So I see two private ventures coming. One is the pure experience center venture, and second is private people investing into infotainment projects.
That's great. What do you think is really driving this? I mean, in terms of infotainment, I mean, exhibitions, of course, you have got statics and tactile. But of course, in this context, I we are talking, we're talking about infotainment as in getting the AV and other sort of solutions that create a different type of experience. What do you think is really driving this uptake?
I think I think one is the ease of information because of technology is driving it. I I started doing these museums, and then 4 years back, they were like people were wow seeing projectors. They were like, oh, they are big projections, and we have just seen these projections in movie halls. And they were crazy about seeing these bigger projections. Suddenly, last 2 years, the bigger projection converted into 360-degree projections. Now I see that the client is not happy with 360-degree projection also. Suddenly for them, they have seen it once, they don't want to see it twice. So it is going crazy that how one market which just started 4 or 5 years ago in that way in India, suddenly people want to do innovative stuff every 6 months. So then the hologram came. Now for them hologram is also old. Then the AR came. Now the AR is also old. Now the VR came. The VR is also old. So they want a new thing in every day because they are saying that I've already seen it. So for them it's like a movie. They want to see a new technology. So I think that is surprising to me that the kind of depth which people have in their expectations is crazy. So I think that is what I'm looking forward to.
I do not know whether technology can keep up at a pace at how they want a different experience, though. So that's a tricky part for you as a design company as well. But let's go into how these AV technologies help you when you are doing a design for the client. Maybe what are the considerations and how do these solutions help you in creating the experience for your clients?
Sorry, your voice cracked in between. Can I have the question
Okay.
again?
Yeah, sorry. I was saying that when you are doing the design, there will, I believe, there are AV technologies involved. And I was wondering how these technologies are helping you in creating a design that meets your client's needs. So some of the aspects of these AV technologies, how are they helping you in these infotainment projects?
I think in a large way because I think technology is not. I, I suddenly I think it is we are counting it as a silo as technology term as a technology. I think after 10 years it will become a part of our life. It's like it's like design is a very neutral term now. So technology will be a very very neutral term. It will not be a luxury or a silo. So I think everywhere which you see is something which is technology helping us right from the way we are designing stuff. We show our clients augmented reality and we show them how the music will look like. So it starts from there. In a way
Yes.
and then to the final product in terms of technology where that the advantage of technology is that you can change the content. The hardware is
That's right.
already right, and then you can obviously make things very easy in terms of explanation once you have that technology. So for example, I remember that we are doing a museum on archaeology where we have got things which are 3,000, 4,000 years old, but they are very mini in size, and to read
Yeah.
the texture of it or or what it is, what material it is and what it is meant for, it is impossible for a person to know that from a naked eye. But once you
Yes.
have that lens of technology, then you can capture the image. The person can with a touch screen can enlarge it, or the projection can interact with that piece. So I think the whole system has changed. Our livings have changed. So I think it gotta be changing very fast, as I think beyond our thinking.
Yes, I think a lot of them want the interactive aspect. They want to be in control of what they're seeing and what they want in knowledge voice wise. And like you said very nicely, that example that you gave, there's some things that you need to augment it with the audio AV technology. Otherwise, you're seeing something and you can't see the actual intricacies that are involved in that exhibit, right? All right, just quest hopefully you can share this with us. Is there something very exciting that you're doing currently? And maybe you can share what's the technologies that are going in there. Is that possible?
Yeah, totally. So I think I'm currently doing 20 museums, so and
Wow.
these all museums I have, I'm at least doing every museum at least have 50 installations. So I'm more or less doing 100 installations right now in terms of design. So it is a very exciting time for us and for India in that sense. So uh, and we are doing some very tricky ones also, so for example, we are doing an installation in a museum with human biology, where you come in front of a tech device, and then the tech device scan your body and tell you that what is which part and where you are lacking in, so it's kind of a device which through the technology will tell you that, what you are made up of, what is your ancestor was, and from where you came as a human body.
Wow.
And so that's a very interesting installation which we are doing right now, where
Wow. Okay.
we will get into your body, and they'll tell you that your hairs will fall in 2 years to your hairs are black because your ancestor were from Africa. So I think that's one interesting installation we are doing. Then there is one installation where we are doing a big simulator with the projection, which is in Ambala in North India, where we are doing a whole system where people need to get. It's the whole storytelling is that people in a lift and the lift is moving, and with that lift the projection is also moving, and the whole projection is
Very
on water.
nice.
So these are plenty of installations, and one installation we are doing is that we always do these projector systems, and but now we are adding projection with sculpture. So we are doing an
Hmm.
installation in which a projector falls on a sculpture, right, and the shadow of the sculpture makes a image.
Oh,
You know,
wow. Wow.
so
Okay.
you know, so we are doing an installation where we are mixing the hardscape and the landscape. So the projector mixed with the sculpture, and then when you see the end result, the shadow of the sculpture and the projection system makes a thing. So we are doing these type of installations.
It all sounds very, very exciting. And I don't know how you're coping with so many projects at one go. Regardless, just a quick question. So in some of these projects, are you using Barco projectors, and maybe some comment about the projectors?
Yeah, we have used a Barco projector in one of our very prestigious project, which is National Museum. So we have done a National Museum, which is soon going to be inaugurated inside the Red Fort. So they are barracks,
Oh,
British barracks, which are converted into the National Museum inside the Red Fort. There we have used Barco projectors, and uh, uh, then we have used Barco projector as one of our project in Gujarat. And then we will. I mean, they are all now the 20 projects which I'm designing right now. Soon they will be in the market. So we will hopefully do some projects.
very nice. Thank you so very much, Siddharth, for joining me today and sharing some of your insights. I really appreciate it. And also, thank you, viewers, for watching us today.